Let's look at a number line. When someone says that, you might ask, why? Look at these colored pencils. Since the pencils are organized in a row, it's easy to find the color you want. That's what number lines do, but for numbers. One version of a number line is called a number path. Number paths show counting numbers, like 1, 2, 3, and so on, in a row. Each number has its own space, and the spaces are next to each other. The numbers on the right are greater. That means bigger. In fact, if you pick any two numbers, the one farther to the right is always greater than the other one. Organizing the numbers this way makes it easy to compare the size of numbers. In mathematics, that is very important. It also makes it easy to see how far away a number is from another number. For example, 5 is 1 away from 4, and 5 is 2 away from 3. When you're adding or subtracting, that information is powerful. So number paths are great. They do have some limitations, though. One limitation of number paths is there's no space between the numbers. Now, you might be thinking, who needs space between the numbers? 2 comes right after 1. There isn't any number between 1 and 2. Well, in fact, there are numbers between other numbers. Did you know that every fraction is actually a number? It's true. The number 2.5 is one of the numbers that mean amounts more than 2 and less than 3. Other numbers like that are 2 2/3, 2 3/4, and many, many more. These are all numbers that are more than 2 and less than 3. And we can make room for them by using a number line instead of a number path. Let's start our number line at 0. We'll draw our number line out to the right. When we had a number path, each number had its own space, but on a number line, the numbers get tick marks. Here is a tick mark for 1, and here's 2, 3, 4. An interesting thing about number lines is that we don't have to put a tick mark in for every counting number. In fact, I'm going to erase 1 and 4 right now because we're not going to be talking about those numbers. Of course, the numbers 1 and 4 still exist, but we don't have to mark them in. Now these tick marks are for 0, 2, and 3, and the spaces are the spaces between those numbers. Spaces between numbers let us put fractions on the number line. Earlier we talked about these fractions, which are all more than 2 and less than 3. 2.5 is exactly halfway between 2 and 3, so we put it here. 2 2/3 is 2/3 of the way from 2 to 3. 2 3/4 is 3/4 of the way from 2 to 3. There's fractions on a number line. To recap, number lines are powerful because they organize numbers. A number path is a simple version of a number line. In a number path, every counting number goes in its own space. A number line uses tick marks for the numbers, not spaces. One big advantage of a number line over a number path is you only have to make marks for the numbers you need to think about. That's very useful. Another big advantage of a number line is that you can put more numbers into the spaces between other numbers, including fractions. This is powerful. Organizing fractions this way makes many kinds of fraction math a lot easier. Number lines are worth it.